Oh, God, what are we doing? It's the first show of 2021, and already the wheels have fallen off the wagon. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. I am Mistress Carrie. Welcome to my War Room. Wednesday, where are you going? I have presents for you. We meet here every Tuesday night at 8:30, and it's something we've been doing since last year, which is weird to say, but now it's absolutely true. So we get together every Tuesday night at 8:30 to talk about our week, cheer each other up, share good times and bad times. And this is episode 112 of Cocktails in the War Room. My name is Mistress Carrie. Thank you guys for joining me. I apologize that I was running a few minutes late. I hope you guys can hear me. I was rushing, trying to get the War Room ready for tonight. It's been a crazy day. I don't know why Tuesdays have all of a sudden become these super crazy, stressful days for me. They used to be the mellow days because all I did was come into the War Room and hang out with you guys. And now all of a sudden Tuesday's like the craziest day of the week. So I don't know where Wednesday went, but one of the reasons why I was running late is that I couldn't get the pug cam to work. And then I finally get it to work, and now that little shit's not here. So Happy New Year, everybody. How did you guys celebrate the new year? Did you guys sit at home and drink champagne? I'll tell you that I sat at home and drank champagne, and I celebrated New Year's twice. I celebrated it once at 3:00 in the afternoon because I FaceTimed with my husband, who's 9 hours away. And so we said Happy New Year at 3 p.m. our time. And then he called me at 9:00 in the morning the next day to wish me a Happy New Year at midnight here. So I got 2 New Years, actually. And then I decided last week that I really wanted to start the new year in a positive way, and that I needed to just kind of get away for a couple of days. So I got a COVID test. And when it came up negative, thankfully, I'm seeing some people talking about how they've had family members that have come up positive, which is heartbreaking to me. And I'm sending you all my love. Mine came up negative, and so I went down to Maryland to visit some relatives and my nieces and nephews. And I spent 3 days reading Dr. Seuss books, all of the Dr. Seuss books, at least twice. And so that's how I started 2021. And it was really nice to be able to go and spend some quality auntie time and then get back. And here I am. So Happy New Year, everybody. How are you guys? Stayed home and got shit-faced off of a pint of Fireball after the kids went to bed, of course, says Heather. That sounds fantastic. Donna says, I took a shower and went to bed and woke up at 6:30 on Friday. Come here, Wednesday. Come up and see me. Come on. Come here. Come here so I can turn your camera on. Come here. Actually, I wasn't alone. I was with Wednesday on New Year's Eve. I can't say that I was alone because she was with me. Hey, come here. What's Mommy done? Come over here. What's this? Come here. I got prizes for you. What a mail call is. Oh, today's mail call for Wednesday is like second to none. What's this? Come here. Come here. Come over and see it. Come here. Can I turn your camera on? Let me turn your camera on so you can say hi to everybody. Say hi. Good girl. Can I have your paw? Good girl. Can I have the other one? Thank you. Can you get down for me? Oh, thank you. See, she does do nice things sometimes. Of course, now she's expecting a treat, but right, Wednesday, are you expecting a treat? Say hi to everybody. Say Happy New Year. Paula said, in my jammies by 7 and watch The Outpost. Paula, was that the first time you watched it? And did you hear episode 4 of the podcast with Jonathan Hill? And what did you think? Fill me in on that. Eric says, limoncello type of night. Oh, boy. Kim says, hello, family, and Wednesday. Let's see. Hello, Princess Wednesday, says Elsa. Let's see. I got tested 3 times a week for work, says John. That's a lot of brain tickling with the Q-tip. Oh, no. I hope she is okay. Sending love and prayers to her. I love it when you guys support each other and help each other through all of the tough times. So It's something we started in 2020, and it's definitely something we're going to continue in 2021. And it's just been, did you read The Foot Book? The Foot Book? No, I did not read The Foot Book. I don't know if I know what you're talking about. I would love to have Carrie read Go the Fuck to Sleep, says Michael. Oh my God, I would totally do that. Oh, I got to get a copy of that book because I would totally do that here in the War Room one night. The night that we have a pajama party, I've been texting Danielle to start off the new year correctly. I know that New Year's resolutions are kind of ridiculous. Corey Taylor says he's going to give up sugar this year. I usually don't make New Year's resolutions, but I kind of make goals for myself. And obviously, this is the first time in 30 years that I wasn't going to be working at WAF. It's really strange. And I got to be honest, it hit me a little bit over the holidays. And hold on. She's being too cute. I have to turn the camera back on. Say hi, Wednesday. Huh? Oh, it's a very big yawn for a very small dog. What are you doing? Oh, she's biting my fingers now. Ow, 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 ow. What are you doing? Come over here and say hi to everybody. Sit down. Wednesday, sit down. Good girl. Can I have your paw? Good girl. Can I have your other paw? Good girl. Can I have a high five? Yeah. Yeah. Good girl. All right. Maybe we're starting off 2021 in a good way because she's listening tonight. She's doing tricks for you guys. So anyway, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, I usually don't make them, but I did try to set some goals for myself. One of them being to make sure that I focused more of my time on what's important, which I think we could all use a little bit more of. One of the things that is another goal I set for myself, and this is something I actually started in 2020, but I'm going to continue it in 2021, is to be more organized. I've started with all of this downtime. Remember, how many times have we joked about it here in the War Room that, like, if your house is a mess during COVID when you're home all day, then you're just a slob. I'm discovering that I'm part slob, part not. Yes, she's knocking all the pillows off the couch. There she goes. So I'm trying to reorganize my life a little bit more, and I am trying to get more organized when it comes to the podcast and the War Room, which led me to texting Danielle because I was like, look, I want you on the podcast. I want the pajama party in the War Room. Can we please make this fucking happen? And her and I are supposed to get on the phone next week, go over calendars, and get it all scheduled. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm slacking. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you all wound up now? Huh? Why are you all wound up now? Sit down and say hi to everybody. Show them how cute you are. Sit. Show them how pretty you are. Sit down. Good girl. Good girl. I didn't bring any toys in here with me because I have mail call toys for her. Heather says, I miss you so much on WA. Heather, I miss you guys too. But I got a big announcement coming tonight, and there's a lot of great stuff that is happening, and I am super excited that you guys are on this journey with me, so I will fill you in on all of that. So I talked to Danielle about the podcast and stuff, so expect, not Danielle from the WWE, Danielle from WAF, Danielle Murr, who's on with Hillman on WEEI. So we're going to work on that. My kitties are slobs, says Brianna. Sorry I'm late, says Lisa. Don't worry, I was late too, Lisa. Today was just crazy. New Year's Eve, fireplace, good movies, and lobster. Nice job, Kevin. I have to have surgery tomorrow on my leg that I broke 20 years ago, and I still have problems with it. So I'm going to be stuck in bed for almost a week studying for my CE hours and to update my insurance license. Well, Trina, we're going to be hanging out with you, so don't even worry about it. All right, I'm turning the pug cam off because I don't know where the hell she went. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I have some announcements about what's going on with the podcast. And I don't know. I'm just really excited for 2021. Do you guys feel different? Like, do you feel like 2020 is behind us and things are on the up and up? And I only ask because I know right now the elections are happening in Georgia. And with the inauguration coming up on the 20th, I feel like the next week and a half are going to be incredibly fucking stressful, or 2 weeks, I should say, incredibly stressful. And I am trying so hard to like block out the noise, but at the same time, it's kind of hard not to do that. Thus the cocktails. Cheers to you guys. Brianna says, I feel more hopeful. Mark says, I feel an overwhelming sense of optimism. Nope. Sadly. One of the other things that I am waiting on is to schedule a day for another volunteer day down at Mass Military Support Foundation in the Food for Vets program. So I'm also working on that, guys. So don't think that I have been slacking. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. I did get this, however, and I'm going to need somebody to write this down for me because I just thought of it and I promised him that I would give this out, and I didn't make a slide for it on the show. I got a text from Don Cox from the Mass Military Support Foundation. And if somebody could, they posted it on their Facebook page. So if somebody could go to the Mass Military Support Foundation Facebook page and share this post in the feed so everybody can find it. I got this text from Dawn that says, any chance you can push this through to your network? Thank you very much. Mass Military Support Foundation posted and said, we are making a small request of everyone who can help. On January 8th, Army Corporal Arthur Butler will be turning 100. This World War II veteran is the recipient of the Purple Heart, Bronze Star, and Combat Infantry Badge for his actions in the Battle of Okinawa. A bachelor, he has no known relatives. He donated the land upon which Framingham, Mass. Was able to build the Christa McAuliffe Library. I am sure some cards to show respect and gratitude would be appreciated. And I have his address. So if somebody could write this down for me and put it in the comments or share this post off of the Mass Military Support Foundation. They posted this on Friday. So they posted this a few days ago. Make the cards for Arthur's 100th birthday to Arthur Butler, New Horizons, 400 Hemingway Street, room 460, Marlborough, Mass. 01752. So I'll read that again. Arthur Butler, New Horizons, 400 Hemingway Street, room 460, Marlborough, Mass. 01752. And basically, Mass Military Support Foundation is just trying to get people to send Arthur birthday cards because it's his 100th birthday, and he doesn't have any relatives, and he deserves one hell of a birthday party, or at least what we can show and throw for him, which is basically sending him birthday cards. So if you guys don't mind doing that, that would be amazing. If you guys could get a birthday card in the mail to Arthur. Sorry, I totally meant to build a slide for that, and I just totally spaced. Like I told you, today has been a little bit crazy. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Brianna. Everybody is sharing the Facebook post that has Arthur's. You know what, Trina? That's a great idea. When I get done here in the war room, I will put up a blog post with Arthur's address as well. But can you tweet it out, Carrie? Yes, Mark, I will tweet it out as well. Melissa, thank you. Arthur Butler, New Horizons, 400. The street is Hemen, Hemingway Street, room 460, Marlborough, Mass. 01752. So thank you guys so much. I know he would love to get some birthday cards, and I know that the guys at Mass Military Support Foundation really appreciate it when the War Room crew gets together and tries to do something good. So as soon as I get that volunteer day for the Food for Vets boxes scheduled, I will let you guys know. All right, let's see. All right, let's talk about the podcast, shall we? The last episode of the year was my good friend Paul Mercurio, episode 30. Paul Mercurio, a stand-up comedian from Rhode Island who's a writer for Stephen Colbert. He was a writer for The Daily Show. And I really wanted to get Paul on because for the last 6 months, I've been keeping tabs on his recovery from COVID. And he is still in recovery now. He's getting that stem treatment, the electronic stem treatment on his elbows because he's got all kinds of ligament inflammation from COVID. And I thought it was really an interesting thing to have him talk about how it's affecting him because he's not an older person. He doesn't have pre-existing conditions. And because the news so much of the time focuses just on fatalities, that I wanted you guys to hear from someone that's been struggling with this and that it hasn't just been the sniffles. It hasn't just been like the flu, that it's somebody that 6 months after being diagnosed is still dealing with massive symptoms and ramifications from getting this virus. And so I wanted you guys to hear it from somebody so that you knew that it was coming straight from somebody that's having the experience and not through the news or, oh, I heard something or I read something on Facebook or whatever, that it was an interview that you could pass around to other people, that you could say, look, here's an example of, I mean, for me, that made me super worried about COVID. Not that I wasn't worried before. We've all been talking about it for 10 months now here in the War Room, but to hear what he's going through and how it has disrupted his normally active life, that scared the shit out of me because I'm an active person. And all we hear about is the people that end up on a ventilator in the hospital and the people that end up passing away. But to hear about the people that are at home still battling this thing, still dealing with fatigue, still dealing with the lack of taste and smell, the inflammation, the heart murmurs, like all of the other things, I thought it was really important for you guys to hear from him. Let's see. Jeff, don't worry. He says, I've never been this late. Wendy says it's unreal how much he's going through. Brianna says it really depends on the strain of the virus and the person and how COVID affects you. Exactly. And that's what's crazy is that it's this roulette game that you're playing and you're like, oh, let me roll the dice a little bit and see. I probably is not going to even get it. All right, maybe I'll be asymptomatic. Okay, maybe I'll get a fever. Oh, shit, I'm on a ventilator. Like, we just don't know. The loss of taste would scare me, says Mark. I know, me too. And especially for Paul because he's Italian. And so just growing up with the food and his family and the smells, Danielle says, scared me that he's so tired all the time. I know. And especially with everything, you know, nobody's life is getting any less relaxing. You know, if you're working from home, you might be teaching your kids at home. Everybody has stresses. You may have had to pick up 2 or 3 part-time jobs to make ends meet. Everything is just crazy. And so for the idea that you could be stuck at home. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting is that he's going to see the specialist and the specialist doesn't take anybody's insurance. So even though he has insurance, he's paying out of pocket for all of these COVID treatments, which is crazy. Shannon says, great episode. Unreal how he's still suffering. Monica says Larry King is in the hospital. I know we put that in the sit rep. Let's see. We really just don't know, says Therese. Remind me at the end of June and we'll send out another round. Yeah, there's other people that have relatives that are sending, that are celebrating their 100th birthday this year. So we definitely got to get some more cards out for that as well. Heather says, I had COVID over Thanksgiving with no symptoms. It's unbelievable how the same thing can affect people so differently. And that's why I wanted you guys to hear from Paul Mercurio, not only because of the seriousness of it, but also to hear how he's handling a lot of it with humor, which I also loved as well. Jen says, I hate the fact that my niece has it. Tracy says, I have a friend who's a paramedic. He got it and it kicked his ass. Let's see. Amanda says, hi, Carrie. Been a few weeks. Recovery from surgery. Missed everybody. Well, welcome back, Amanda. It's nice to have you back. Trina says, I have a neighbor who caught it in March and it triggered massive anxiety attacks, loss of taste and smell, and no energy at all. It's just crazy. And I had been trying to get Paul on the podcast for months. And I had kept asking him, how are you feeling up to it? Are you feeling up to it? And he was like, no, I'm just not. So the fact that he was finally feeling well enough to do the podcast was at least, gave me a sense of optimism, because I know that this thing has been kicking his ass so bad. Let's see. Full-time job is just teachers around, but in my part-time work at Market Basket, says Jeff. There is a new strain. What the F, says Joe. I know. It's just crazy. So it took me a month to feel like myself again. Fatigue like a truck hit me every day, says Lou. So, if you guys know anybody that says, oh, it's not that bad, it's just the flu, whatever, send them this episode of the podcast and be like, it might have just been the flu for you. Or maybe that's how it's been for everyone you know. But now you've heard a story from the person's own mouth with no agenda other than to say, this is what happened to me. And, I thought it was amazing that he was willing to be so candid and to share it too. Wendy says, my friend was in an induced coma for 6 weeks. My grandfather got it in December, was just fine for a few weeks and passed away out of nowhere on the 1st of January, says Anne. Oh my God, Anne, I am so sorry to read that. Both my mom and dad, who are 70, were tested today. Both were negative, thank God. Congratulations, Eric, because it is so scary. Exactly. That was my son, lackadaisical, says Betty. Linda says, my Gigi has random coughing fits and it sucks watching a 5-year-old go through it. Yeah, especially when it's so scary for a kid. And I know it doesn't affect as many kids as it affects older people, but it does still affect kids. Diane says, my mother died from it on December 16th. Obviously, Diane, we're sending you our love as well. Mark says, my cousin's entire family got it last week. So, I took a lot of things out of this episode. Obviously, to handle everything with a sense of humor. Obviously, to be careful. I thought it was really telling about the comedy club owner in Florida when Paul tried to cancel his gig, and that he was assured that they were going to follow protocols. And when he got down there, they didn't. And then he ended up sick. I wondered when we were having that conversation, if the people that were positive that were in the club that night that gave it to him, if they ever got sick. Because it's just a crazy story. Joseph says, this country needs more stuff like this. Actual people talking to one another. No lobbyist backed media, just real people stories. Yeah, I mean, it's, you guys know that, when it comes to politics, I don't fit into a box, and I refuse to be forced to pick one side or the other. I'm incredibly disgruntled with the way that the political climate has turned in the United States. And I hate the fact that the virus has become so politicized, because it's a real, real problem. And it makes me really sad sitting in a room that's dedicated to the service of our veterans, that, Americans are turning on each other and like assaulting each other over masks and coughing on each other. And, it's just, everybody is so tense. And it's like, just because it didn't affect you doesn't mean it's not affecting everyone else. And then there's the other side of the coin where it's like, okay, well, if it's affecting some people and I'm losing my livelihood, why do I have to sacrifice my livelihood when it's not affecting that many people? It's like, it's just maddening. And so I just, once again, in the new year, one of the other things, not so much New Year's resolutions, but just one of the other things that I'm really trying to be mindful of this year is to have more empathy, because last year it just was so obvious that there was such a lack of it. And I am just trying to be more empathetic and really trying to see things from other people's perspective, because I have, the tendency to be bullheaded and to see things from my perspective. And sometimes it's hard for me to think about, a debate that I feel strongly about from the other person's perspective. And so I'm trying to do more of that as well. So let's see. Um, yeah, Cheryl says people who have it will try to hug you and cough on you. How sick is this world? I wonder, if somebody did that, like if you could charge them with attempted murder. Like, I wonder how that is, because it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, there have been people that had unprotected sex that were HIV positive that were convicted of that very thing. And that's a virus as well. So I just think it's crazy. Let's see. I am so over turning everything into a political argument, Brianna. I know people shouldn't be using it as a weapon. That's messed up. I totally agree. Any going to get the vaccine, says John. I am going to be one of the last people that gets offered it because I don't have pre-existing conditions. I'm young and I am not in a position where I need it before a first responder, a healthcare worker, someone that's in the military, someone that does have pre-existing conditions. I'm happy to wait my turn. I've had a lot of conversations with people about fears of the virus. And, I mean, there's been over 1 million people that have gotten it with very few examples of side effects and allergic reactions. I am a firm believer in science. I've talked about it in the podcast a lot that I'm not really the most spiritual of people. And I am definitely a believer in academia. And I am putting a lot of faith in the scientists. I don't believe there's a microchip in it. I can't get my tinfoil hat to get that big to believe something like that. So for me, I mean, I got 14 shots live on television before I went to Iraq in 2006. Here's the argument that I make if you say I'm not getting it. Women get botulism injected into their faces to get rid of their wrinkles. And if you eat processed food, if you've eaten a McRib in the last month, can you list all the ingredients in a McRib? Because if you can't, don't tell me your body is this much of a temple where you don't want to get a vaccination because you don't know what's in it. Do you know what was in your chicken pox, your measles, mumps, rubella? Do you know what's in your flu shot? Do you know what's in everything? Because the flu shot's different every year. So it's basically a new vaccine every year. I don't know. I understand it's your body and you want to choose whether or not you get it or not. But, for me personally, I'm not afraid to get it. But again, I got all those shots before I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. I think there's so many people that have been in the military. How many shots have you guys gotten? The anthrax shots that you guys got, the smallpox stuff, all of the malaria stuff that you guys got. That's just me. For the elderly, I am phase 1, 4th round, says Shannon, because she is a homemaker for the elderly. Same, lots of autoimmune issues in my household and 2 autoimmune participants in the studies. So as soon as we know it's okay, we are on it. Yeah, I think that everybody needs to kind of make those decisions, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see once the vaccination is widespread, how it is that they start opening the world back up and what kind of documentation is required. Because that's when it starts getting a little weird. Like, does somebody at Ticketmaster have the right to know about my medical records to let me into a concert? Is a concert on private property and they have the right to ask yes or no? I mean, I've watched so many videos of people going, I'm an American. I have the right to come in your store without a mask on. And that same person was probably cheering on the courts when they said the bakers didn't have to make a wedding cake for a gay wedding. Isn't it the same argument that if you're a private business, you have the right to turn away business? So if you own a business and you don't want someone in your store without a mask on, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I don't have the answers to any of these questions. But for me, I'm going to get it. I'm more worried about ending up like Paul, being fatigued 6 months later, not being able to fucking taste my drink on Tuesday nights, and I'm hanging out with you guys. Danielle says, I have an autoimmune disease and I'm hoping to get it soon. Penny says, I'm getting it. Also, it means going to a show. Then, yes. COVID is preventing surgical procedures, which I understand, but I'm sorry that it's scrolling so fast. Well, part of the reason that it is, the the staff. We might have beds and ventilators, but I'm really afraid once COVID takes a turn for the better, what this is going to do to our healthcare workers and whether or not they're going to want to stay in their given profession. I can't imagine what it's like for someone that goes to work every day in a hospital and then to come home and watch the news and see people protesting, talking about how the virus that they're battling every day isn't real and that you're battling to save people's lives every day and that there are other people that are purposefully going out and not being careful and, fighting for PPE and worrying about bringing it home to your family. I wonder how the mass retirement, people that are going to change careers because they just are so fatigued and just can't handle the lack of appreciation for the long hours and the stress that all of our healthcare workers have been under. I grew up the daughter of a paramedic and the daughter of a registered nurse. And I know what toll those jobs took on them, both emotionally and physically. And so I worry about that too. So lots of craziness. So I was super happy. If you missed episode 30, please go back and listen to Paul Mercurio. The episode's right up at WAF.com. And speaking of the podcast, this week, hold on. This week's podcast announcement, and I totally spaced on putting the Pantheon logo in there. I have a big announcement. I told you guys that I've been working on something pretty big for the podcast, and I finally get to announce it because it went into effect in January, of course, of this year. The Mistress Carrie podcast has officially joined the Pantheon Podcast Network. The Pantheon Podcast Network is a group of almost 70 podcasts that are all music related. And it is now a podcast network for music lovers. And it's all types of music: classic rock, grunge, heavy metal, EDM, bluegrass, country, pop, oldies, R&B, hip hop. It's a little bit of everything. And so this week on the podcast, I brought in Christian Swain and Peter Ferlioli, and they are the men that put together and came up with the Pantheon Podcast Network. And I thought it would be a really interesting way to start the year because we talk a lot about a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff when it comes to music licensing, when it comes to how the music business works, how royalties work. We talk a lot about it here in the War Room. And I wanted to give these guys a chance to kind of talk about all of that stuff and also to talk about all of the amazing music podcasts that are in the network, including Mike Shue's Long May You Young, Neil Young podcast. So Mike Shue and I are now members of the same podcast network, which is not quite like working together, but it's as close as I'm going to get right now, so I will take it. So episode 31, if you are a music lover, if you love podcasts, if you want to know about inside music stuff, this podcast is for you. You're going to learn a lot of really cool stuff. There's some great music stories. Christian and Peter are super interesting guys, diehard music fans, guys that have their own amazing stories. Christian has his own podcast that is the first podcast in the network called Rock and Roll Archaeology, which is an acclaimed podcast. And, we talk a lot about music. We talk a lot about all of the amazing podcast hosts that they have in the network, and talked a lot about the changes in radio and what that's doing to the music business in general, and how entertainment is shifting based on technology. So it's kind of music nerdy, but I think you guys are going to find it really interesting. So that is episode 31 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. And so that means that the sit rep, Monday through Friday, which is how you get all your music news and your industry info and your rock headlines and everything. You get it in under 5 minutes every weekday in the podcast. And so everything is moving over to the Pantheon Podcast Network. For you on your end, you're not going to notice a difference. One of the difference, however, or one of the differences, I should say, is that I'm not going to be able to rattle off all of the outlets that my podcast is on very quickly here in the War Room anymore. Right now, you can definitely get it on Apple, Google, Spotify, radio.com, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Deezer, Overcast, TuneIn, Player FM, Pandora, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Amazon, and then our friends in India, JioSaavn, and Ghana. However, with me joining the Pantheon Podcast Network, I am now going to be featured on over 60 podcast outlets, and that expansion is has already begun. So now we're taking over. The Pantheon Podcast Network is in 173 countries. At last count, we were at 98. However, we are expanding, and you guys are on the ride. So, Brianna says, I have been slacking on your podcast. I do apologize. I have a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, you do. Get on that. I find it funny when they come out for a cure for COVID, but not cancer. I call BS, says CJ. I think cancer is a little bit more complicated. I'm not a scientist, but I think all the different types of cancer, I think cancer is a little bit more complicated. Now, the cynic in me will say cancer also makes a lot more money, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we are expanding. The podcast is, yes, Keith, exactly. Total world domination is at your fingertips. Also, one of my goals for 2021 is to expand even more. And that is one of the things that we're doing with the network, which I'm super excited about. One of the other really cool things about it is that because all of these podcasts are music related and they're all music, there's music professors, there's former radio people, there's former record execs. Because we're all now in the same network, we're all connected in networking. And so we're able to share information about booking guests. We're able to get on each other's podcasts. So there's going to be a lot of awesome music content that comes out of this collaboration and partnership. And I am so excited to be part of the Pantheon Podcast Network. And I'm honored that they included me in there. And I can't wait for you guys to be able to go through the network. And if you listen to this episode of the podcast, Peter and Christian actually give you guys some suggestions about if you like the Mistress Carrie podcast, about maybe some of the other ones that you might enjoy, and turning you guys on to some other podcasts that you may not have even known about. And there's, I think there's like 5 other Massachusetts podcasts, including the Shout It Out Loud podcast, which is the KISS podcast that is done right here in Massachusetts. So that's pretty cool as well. Expansion. Yes. Is it Pantheon Radio? No, it's Pantheon Music, Pantheon Podcast Network. So I have linked the network and all the social media stuff in this episode of the podcast as well. So you guys will be able to find them. But I believe on most of the social media handles, it's at Pantheon Pods, but you'll be able to find them. And Donna says, Mistress Carrie is taking over the world. Will your podcast be focused on music guests only now? Absolutely not, Wendy. There is nothing that is going to change in the content whatsoever. Even when I've interviewed people that weren't music related, however, it always seems to come back to music anyway. You know, when I talked to Lenny Clark and he's talking about, being in LA with Eddie Van Halen in the 80s, when I talked to Jonathan Hill about, the Battle of Cop Keating, we talked about the music that he listened to during his deployments. Music is what brings us all together. It's how we all know each other, because that love of music brought us all to WAF, and now that's how we all ended up in each other's lives. But it's always going to be a thread, but it's not the only thing. I've always said that the podcast was a rock lifestyle podcast, and there's so much that fits under that umbrella. It's lifestyle stuff. It's Metallica's whiskey. It's motorcycles. It's tattoos. It's travel, especially when you're going to really cool places and you're going there because you're going to a music festival or that's where a band was from. It always comes back to the music. And so that was one of the things that when I talked to the guys from Pantheon, we had a lot of conversations and I was like, you guys aren't going to want to change the content. And they were like, not at all. One of the things it does do, however, is it opens me up to new sponsors as well, which I'm really excited about because as we all know now, this is my job and my career. And so we got to expand in that way as well. But Heather says you can have your cake and eat it too. I don't know. The cake's in the oven. I'll let you know how it tastes. Right now, things are moving along. Jeff says music helps the soul. Yes. Would you interview beer makers and local beer makers? Heinz wants to know. I'm open to talking to anybody. One of the things I am getting excited about is the notion of all of the albums that are going to come out this year and the idea that we could get touring back. And so I am super excited about all of the music content and all of the interviews that not only are we going to be able to do here in the War Room, but also the stuff we're going to be able to do on the podcast. But that doesn't mean that that's all we're going to be talking about because there's a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of nonprofits that need a spotlight on them. There are a lot of amazing technical inventions. You guys listen to my show for years. I want to talk to everybody because I think everybody has an interesting story to tell. And I think we all have a lot more in common than what makes us different. So, sports stuff and the people behind the music. I've already reached out to a few friends of mine about coming on the podcast, including some audio engineers, some retired record company people that worked on albums in the 80s that want to come on and talk about all of the crazy stories and the things that happened. So there's going to be a lot more of a lot. Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're taking over the world. So I am super excited for you guys to check out not only my podcast, but all of the other podcasts on the Pantheon Podcast Network. And that partnership starts now. I would expect, in full disclosure, over the next week for the transition to be a little bit slow. I've been told I shouldn't see any technological hiccups. I'm in the middle of converting over a lot of audio files on the website, kind of like what I had to do to get all of the War Room episodes up there. But it's going to be good. I'm super excited and super happy about it. All right, let's talk about some headlines because I got a ton of mail call stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. Speaking of COVID, Sharon Osbourne went back to work this week on her show, The Talk. She's been recovering after being hospitalized for a few days because of COVID. She isolated herself to recover, and she says the fatigue is still there and that she still can't smell or taste anything. Luckily for all of us, Ozzy tested negative, and so he was never exposed to COVID from Sharon, which is fantastic. Big announcement today, the rumors flying that Kim Kardashian West has filed for divorce and gotten a divorce attorney, and it sounds like if you read and believe all of the gossip magazines that Kim and Kanye are getting divorced. I just try to imagine which one of them got sick of the other one because I'm sick of both of them. So which one decided? I think it was Kim, but can you imagine that you finally get to the point where you're sick of Kanye? We've been there for years, Kim. Well, come on in. The water's fine. Sad news coming yesterday. Children of Bodom lead singer Alexi Laiho, passed away at his home in Helsinki, Finland. And the metal community has been mourning over the last couple of days on social media about that. Not only talking just about him singing, but about what a prolific metal guitar player that he was. So, how many times have we talked about losing somebody? There wasn't any specifics at last check of exactly what he died of, but I'm sure at some point that will come out. Metallica ended the year with 1.1 billion with a B streams in 2020. And we've been talking about it a lot in the sit rep over the last couple of weeks. There's definitely a new Metallica record in the works. And from the sounds of it, the guys seem really excited about it. So I can't wait for that. New Year's Day, Lejeune Witherspoon released a single that is going to be off of his upcoming solo album that was produced by Sahaj from Ra. And it is a cover of the song Chainsmoking, and it is fantastic. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you can go and stream that now. It came out on January 1st. Speaking of Seven Dust, this Friday night, I want to put the plug in for the Seven Dust live stream that's happening Friday night. You can get all of the details on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. They're going to play the entire Animosity album In Full, which is one of my favorite Seven Dust records. So if you're a Seven Dust fan, you want to check that out on Friday night. And also the Bowie Celebration is taking place on Friday night as well. And this is the 5th anniversary of his passing, which is crazy. Obviously, the anniversary of his passing and his birthday fall in the same week. So the Bowie Celebration, which is a star-studded affair. Everybody from Perry Farrell and Trent Reznor. There's so many people. Billy Corgan is going to be part of it. It's a huge, huge thing. And that's happening on Friday night as well. The guys from Def Leppard revealed that they are opening up their vault to demos and artifacts and stuff from their 44-year career, which I could not believe that they have been a band for 44 years. So that's pretty cool. You can just go to Def Leppard's website to get more details on that. Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch made the announcement celebrating the new year, saying that he has plans in the new year to turn 2 homes, one in Las Vegas and one in Colorado, into rehabilitation centers. The one in Vegas will be open to women only. The one in Colorado will be open to men only. And he sees it as a way to give back, that he is so immersed in his sobriety that it is his number one focus in life, and that he wants to be able to give a leg up to people, to thank the world for the people that gave him a leg up. If you talk to Zoltan from Five Finger Death Punch, the Five Finger Death Punch show at the Palladium in Worcester, that was the last show that Ivan wasn't sober. They took him off that stage. They put him in a car. They put him on a plane and they sent him to rehab. And it was that show. And then the next time Five Finger came back to town, Ivan Moody had to go on stage and apologize to all of the fans that he left hanging. And so he takes his sobriety so seriously that this is his way of giving back. And so you can expect more details from Ivan Moody. But if you want to see his release on it, you can go. I believe it's on his Instagram. Okay. I've been waiting for this. I got a ton of stuff. The mail has been a little bit slow over the holidays, especially sending stuff out of state. I still have people that have not received their packages yet that purchase stuff on mistresscarrie.com. However, the tracking is there. It's just that the mail has been a little slow. So hold on. I got to bend over here. So I went and got the mail, and there was a bunch of stuff. So I want to go through all of the amazing stuff that you guys sent me. Linda and Gigi, guys, that's Gigi. How cool is she? That's the Gigi that hangs out with us here in the War Room. She's such a sweetheart. From our shelter in place to yours, Merry Christmas. So thank you very much, Linda and Gigi. Then I got this one. Carrie and Wednesday sending warm holiday wishes your way. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Love, Lindsay and Mark and Chubby Girl. I love getting pug cards. They're so cute. Come on, look at that. Ah! So thank you guys so much for your card. I absolutely love it. Then I got this one that says, Carrie, wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Love, Christina. Hope your holidays are every kind of happy. So thank you so much for your card, Christina. I really appreciate it. All right, let's dig through some mail, shall we? Because there's some stuff in here that I got to show you guys. This is the first one I got from Trisha. And I got it after Christmas, but I don't know for certain. But I will tell you this much. Well, all I can say is this is a new fixture in the War Room on my War Room Christmas tree that you guys saw pictures of. It's a Christmas ornament that says, half of my heart is deployed. And Trisha, I just thought that was just so sweet and so lovely and just a really sweet gesture and something that this was the first Christmas that I didn't get to spend with my husband since we've been together. And so this really meant a lot. So thank you very much, because I am one of those people that collects Christmas ornaments, and I always buy a Christmas ornament when I travel to remember the trip. And so I will always be able to look back at that ornament and remember, the crazy year that was 2020 and the Christmas that we spent apart. I hope it's the only one, but who knows? Okay, then I got this. and it came from Tim and Melissa. And I couldn't wait to show you guys because I can't tell you how many times I've seen one of these online and wanted to buy one and just never did. This is a Bluetooth speaker. How fucking cool is this Bluetooth speaker? I opened it and was like, oh my God, I have wanted one of these and I just never bought one. And it is so me and I love it so much. So thank you guys so much because it's just so freaking cool. I don't know where they got it. If they're here in the war room, if you guys want to put the link up of where you guys got it, but how freaking cool is that? Right? So badass. It's so awesome. Okay. Then I got this package. Where is the card? Hold on. I got a collar for Christmas for Wednesday with bells. And this is why Wednesday shouldn't have left. Wednesday, come here. What's mommy got? Now I got to take the tags off because here she comes. Ooh, I got to hook the pug cam back up again. Damn it. I'm sorry, Wednesday. I disconnected your... Why can't I get the camera back together? Oh, because it's the wrong plug. Duh! Here we go. All right, Wednesday. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Okay. Wednesday, can I put your camera on? Can I put your camera on? Oh my God, why am I having such difficulties? Seriously. There we go. All right, come here, Wednesday. Because there's a couple things in here that I need a judgment call on when it comes to you guys. So here we go. Why isn't her camera on? This is what happened before. Anything? Hold on. This is what happened before. The struggle is real. I'm telling you guys. All right. Well, Wednesday's going to have to play with her new toy without her pug cam. I'm sorry I disconnected your camera, Wednesday. Come here. Look at her sitting back there. Come here. It's a full-blown crinkly unicorn. Do you want to play with your new toy? Huh? Do you want to play with your new toy? That's a yes. There she goes. Good girl. All right. There's also turkey, pumpkin, and cranberry recipe, all natural holiday dog treats, which she loves. So thank you very much. And then this last one, pug butt happens, says Tracy. I know. All right. And then this last one, I got... So I met Kristen Canty when I went up to pick up the War Room t-shirts once up at T-Shirt Brian's place. So she sent me a card. She said, Mistress Carrie, great to see you. Thank you for letting me send you these fancy treats for Wednesday. Let me know how it goes. So Kristen is somebody that started a new career because of COVID, and she started making gourmet dog treats and organic, like homemade dog treats called Canty's Canine Kitchen. And that's the website and the logo, which I love. And she sent me some magnets and stuff. which is super cool. So these are some of the treats that she sent. And I needed to ask you guys about one of them in particular because it kind of freaked me out. So she sent, so they're all dried and packaged. This one is, let's see, jerky. This is all natural sirloin. This is chicken. So this stuff is all dehydrated. They're like, it's basically like jerky for dogs. This one is kind of weird, but it's wild salmon skins. And it's all dried out. And I'm going to see if Wednesday likes them. We'll see. This is the one that freaked me out, guys. And I don't know if I can give this to Wednesday, but I might have to and take pictures. Can you see that? Guys, this is a bag of dried chicken feet. I don't know if I can handle Wednesday eating dried chicken feet in my house. Should I give them to her? What should I do? I'm assuming, I know you're not supposed to give dogs like chicken bones, but I'm assuming that the chicken feet are cool. It's got to be just cartilage or something to gnaw on, right? Wednesday's literally sitting right here, more attentive than she's been in however long because chicken feet. Yuck. Oh my God. Chicken feet. That's good omega-3s, good for their coats. Oh boy, chicken feet. I'll have to check them out. Gross. I gave my old dogs pig's ears. Tastes like chicken. Let's see. Get Sully in the war room to help with that. Well, you are using the whole animal. Listen, this is not a judgment against anybody. I think it's amazing that she's making these dog treats out of organic things that you know exactly what's in it because it's basically what it says. Pieces of steak, pieces of chicken, salmon skins that she's got these massive dehydrators and she packages all of this stuff herself. It's just the pig's feet in a bag that kind of freaked me out. Chicken feet is food for voodoo. Make broth. I'm not making broth. Diane says, Google it. Can one of you guys Google it about giving chicken feet? Like, she's literally, I'm going to give her one of the other things because I don't think I can handle being live on the internet with Wednesday eating fucking chicken feet. Look at her right now. Can you see her? Are you serious, Wednesday? Are you serious right now? Let me see if I can open the package. I'm going to have to use the teeth, I think. It's good packaging. I didn't bring scissors in here. Now Wednesday is pissed because I haven't opened this thing yet. Wednesday, I'm failing you and I'm sorry. I can't get it to open. A buddy put one of those on my work locker, says Debbie. Well, it's okay. It's like a bag of dicks. Fish scales, yuck, says Monica. I give it my dogs. It supports their joints and it's good for them, Carrie. F-bomb, says Keith. Oh my God. Somebody just put up a whole thing. I don't know what that means, but now I got plastic in my teeth. Hold on. I'm going to get I got it open. Do you want to have some of this? Come here. Come here and say thank you. Say thank you for my treats. You want to have some? You want to try it? You want to try it? Sit down. Come here. Sit. There you go. Good girl. All right. She likes it. The sirloin one. We have a winner. I'm going to investigate the chicken feet. I never heard of that before. It reminded me of my old Sicilian grandfather who used to make chicken soup with the whole chicken. And then you'd go and pull the lid off the pot. And you know that steam when you're making chicken soup, it's like the most amazing smell ever. And then you'd see all of the chicken feet like sticking up out of the pot. It was horrifying. A bag of dicks for dogs. Chicken feet are healthy for dogs. Has glucosamine and chondroitin. Well, I mean, I didn't think she was trying to poison my dog. Of course, she was going to send me something that was healthy. It was just strange. Going through it, I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is awesome. Holy fucking shit, there's chicken feet in there. Just weirded me out. You'll have to do a live video of her eating the chicken feet now, says Brianna. I don't know if I can handle this. Was it? She already ate that. Was that good? Did you like that? Oh my God. Okay. They passed the Wednesday test because she's sitting right there, licking her lips. You want another one? Huh? You want one more? You can have one more. Can sit? Can I have your paw? Sit down. Down. Hey. Don't cry. Down. Do you want this? Down. Good girl. High five. High fives. Okay, there you go. She loves them. Awesome. So, in case you guys are wondering, I'll hook her up with a plug. CantiesK9Kitchen.com. Very sweet. And she's on all the social medias at Canty's K9 Kitchen. So there you go. You can find her on there. And I guess it's Wednesday approved because she's over here eating like a crazy dog. All right. Let me give you just a quick update on the store. Every order that has come in has been shipped so far. And as far as I know, everybody's been getting their stuff and the reviews have been great. So thank you guys so much to everybody that's been buying stuff. And thank you for your patience for people that kind of live far away because it's taken a little bit longer for the mail to get to you, but it's all on the way. Happy birthday to Marilyn Manson. So cheers to you guys. If today is your birthday, you share it with the spooky one. So happy birthday to Marilyn Manson. I don't know what the hell you get that guy. Oh, Shannon, that's a perfect idea. Wednesday, eating chicken feet on TikTok. I think that might have to happen. Keep your eyes on my TikTok. And of course on Wednesday's Instagram because she's on the gram, you know. So happy birthday to Marilyn Manson. I want to say hello to everybody that has Mistress Carrie Backstage passes. I've been offering up a Mistress Carrie prize pack to whoever gets Backstage Pass number 100. And I also want to let you know that one of the things that you get with a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, besides exclusive pictures and blog posts and all kinds of stuff, is you get discount codes for Wednesday's licking my arm right now. Do you want more of those? Here, why don't you come here? You want to say hi to everyone? Say hi to everyone. Good girl. Are you a good girl? I should just make a audio recording of just Wednesday's weird pug noises. Right? Yeah. So one of the things you get with the Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass is you get discount codes for merchandise in the online store. So to start the new year off right and try to welcome as many people into the war room as we can, if you are a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass holder, you get a discount code for the whole month of January that gives you $5 off every Cocktails in the War Room t-shirt that you buy. So if you don't have a Backstage Pass yet, get your Backstage Pass on Patreon right now, patreon.com/Mistress Carrie. You could just go to mistresscarrie.com and there's a link there. And you can buy as many Cocktails of the War Room t-shirts you want, and every single one of them will be $5 off. So I want to thank everybody for that. And that's a good reminder about all of my social media pages. And of course, you can just always find me right here on the website at mistresscarrie.com. So pug noises, says Debbie. TikTok Wednesday. Those noises kill me, says Jeff. Oh my God, her snorts are adorable. Oh, she's happy tonight. Yeah, because I'm giving her all these organic dog treats. Right? Are you a happy dog? And of course, it's the night that I can't get the pug cam to work too, right? She's sucking up, says Debbie. I totally agree. Let's see. Maddie Blake is doing Spectrum commercials now. Actually, I talked to Maddie and I talked to Nick over the new year. And they were like, I just wanted to get caught up with them before the new year and wish their families well. And it was nice to reconnect with those guys. And Maddie's got all of his Oak Island stuff going on, and Nick is doing really well. And so it was just, here, you want your toy? And it was just really nice to talk to those guys. So don't be surprised if they pop up on the podcast or pop up here in the War Room as well. So yes, I know. She's so cute. I need to order one zipper hoodie. Well, Heidi, the hoodies are in stock. Everything on the store is in stock right now. And all of the people that are producing all of this stuff have said, if you need to reorder stuff, just let me know. So you go to the website. It's all up there. But if you have a backstage pass, Cocktails in the War Room t-shirts, both the men and the women's, you get $5 off of every one of them for the whole month of January. And then moving forward, everybody with the backstage passes is going to get a different code for a different discount on the website every month. And that's just one of the benefits that you get. So are you ready? Do you love this unicorn? Yep, she does. We're going to have to come up with a flashy name for the unicorn now, too. Let's see. Sweatshirts rock, so comfy. Thank you very much, Marcy. Let's see. Brianna says half the mail is for her. I would, too. Yeah, right? Exactly. I'm watching Oak Island right now, says Tracy. Oh, my God, she's so cute on TikTok. I'm going to have to get her on there. Let's see. Damn, girl, you know how to upsell. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you guys discounts on stuff everywhere that I can. Like if I had it my way, I would just win Powerball and then I would give you guys sweatshirts. But it hasn't happened yet. Not for lack of trying, by the way. What can I do? All right, guys. We are at the end of episode 112 of Cocktails in the War Room. Episode 31 of the Mistress Carrie podcast goes live at midnight. And that features Christian and Peter from the Pantheon Podcast Network. So if you're a music fan, I think you're really going to like this episode. We talked a lot about music, a lot about the music business, a lot about music licensing. I talked to them about putting music on podcasts and how that's going to be possible. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. And it's the same network that Mike Shue's podcast, Long May You Young, is also on. And if you're a Neil Young fan, Mike Shue's podcast, it's all about Neil Young. So you guys will really like that. And that's in the network as well. So Mike Shue and I are network buddies once again. All right, guys. Don't lick anything weird. Wash your damn hands. I'm going to go contemplate giving Wednesday chicken feet. Good night.